Well, good morning to you all. How you doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Family Morning Transformation. Well, yours truly, DMP Speaks. I'm glad to have you this morning. I hope that you're doing well. Listen, if you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. My name is David M. Pinkston, like I said, but I go by the name of DMP Speaks. I am an empowerment speaker. I am a board certified Christian counselor. I'm also a family restoration specialist, which means I come to grow and rebuild your family dynamic. So, with that, good morning, good morning, good morning. I know you're rushing out. I know you got a busy day, but I just want to give you a few minutes, a few moments of inspiration, motivation, education to transform your family dynamic and grow it. So, what I had this morning, and I need you to just share this really quick. So this is going to be kind of interesting, and I'm going to be talking about this today and tomorrow, and preferably on Saturday as well. So I'm going to be talking about blended families. The reason why I have quite a bit of information that I could talk about, because I was to have a blended family. Um, this blended family that I have is special. So I got married in 2016, August the 19th, 2016. It was one of the best decisions that I've ever made. And I'm not just saying that my wife is in the other room. That's just, that's how I feel. I mean, seriously, that's how I feel. The same day I became someone's husband, I also became someone's father. And it's been one of the most enriching, powerful things that I've ever done. One of the other ones is giving my life to Christ, but the other one was becoming a husband and also becoming a father. Um, and I don't look at my son as my stepson. I look at him as my son. He is my son. So when I became that husband, I became that father, and everything in my life had to change. And a lot of you that are watching this morning, you have blended families. Could have been, a husband coming in where my situation is, the mother had a child or children, or maybe you're the mom and you came in and your husband had a child or children or grandchildren. I mean, things are different these days, right? Blended families are wonderful. I don't want anybody to get in your head that blended families don't work, because we are an example that blended families work. But one thing that I want to talk about is building a relationship. This is what I'm going to talk about this morning. Building a relationship in a blended family is work. It's something that you have to do and you have to sacrifice and you have to build. Let me repeat, when you have a blended family, it's not going to just happen overnight. You have to build that relationship. So what I want to say about blended families, when I first came into my son's life and I started dating his mother, which eventually became my wife, let's keep it real. Can I keep it real with y'all today? He did not like me. He didn't like me whatsoever. Seon, come here. Come here for a second. I'm going to do something a little different, y'all. I'm going to show you what my son looks like. He's a big boy. Come here. Show your face. Kneel down. There you go. See how big he is? Now go. Have a good day at work. I mean, school.
Did he put you on the camera?
I did, and I'm doing my life. We're talking about blended families.
Oh.
You want to come on? You want to say good morning?
Not really.
Come say good morning. You look good. Say good morning.
Hello, everybody.
Why did I do that? It's because I want to show you really quick that it's important that you build a relationship. Like I said, he did not like me at first, right? He didn't want nothing to do with me. He didn't want to deal with me whatsoever. He wanted his dad, right? And I was a little taken by that. And the reason why I was taken by that because I really wanted to build a relationship with him. At first, I had to push myself onto him to do all these things, and I said, no, I'm not going to do that because I said, let me put his shoes on in this situation. If I was him, how would I feel? If somebody's coming in, seem like it's taking his father's spot and coming into his life, I would feel the same way. So what I did as the new father, the bonus father, I came in and said, I'm just going to build my relationship with him by myself. Of course, with his mother's help, but I'm going to build my relationship with him. I'm going to get to know him as a person. I'm going to be myself with him. The reason why I'm talking about this morning, because a lot of you, whether you're the father coming into the blended family or the mother that's coming to the blended family, you have to build a foundation. You got to build a relationship with that new child. Whether you have children from another relationship or not, you got to build that relationship with that child. You can't have it be predicated on the father or the mother. You got to take it within yourself to build that relationship, because when you build that relationship with that child and you're consistent, and I was consistent as much as I can. I had my place. She had her place, of course, right? But when I come over, I played with him because remember, I've been in his life. She's 4. Well, she said 3. I said 4. It's like 3.5, 4 when he was 4 years old. And now he's almost 15. So he's been in my life and I've been in his life such a long time. And over time, we have built that relationship. What am I saying? You got to build that relationship with that young boy, with that young girl. And you don't have to push it. You don't have to make it weird. You don't have to make it unusual. Do your best. Be yourself in that blended family, especially if you're the man. Do your best to be that guy that he or she can count on. So when I came by, I played with him. I asked him how school was going. I played every game that he could imagine. I ran around with him, even though I got tired. And I'm like, oh. And I remember this like yesterday. I was leaving her apartment to go back to my apartment. And I said, well, man, I got to go. I said, I got to go, but I'll see you tomorrow. And he did, he gets mad when I leave. But this particular time, he starts crying. And I'm like, why is he crying? Because my girlfriend at the time, my wife, she calls me. She says, babe, you might have to come back for a few more minutes. And I said, well, why? What's wrong? She said, he put the phone up to him. He's crying his eyes out. I was shocked. I was totally shocked. This happened after maybe several months of being around him. I was totally shocked. I was shocked because I didn't really care that much. You have somebody that come and play with you and, but I thought he was still on the tip. Oh, I just want my dad, not him. But he was so upset that I left. He just started crying. I had to turn my car back around, back up there to her apartment, sit with him and play with him and talk with him until he fell asleep because he just was hysterical. And that showed, oh, bro, you are building a good relationship, a good foundation with this boy that one day might be your son. And as the history shows itself, that's who he became. What am I saying? You got to build that relationship up with that child. You have to. It's so important. Whether you are the husband, the father, or the new mother, you got to build that up. And you got to show that you care. That's a part of building a relationship, showing that you care. So if they're calling, I know it's weird. I know what I'm about to say is weird, but getting on the phone, asking them how they're doing, even if they're like standoffish, you don't want to push it, but you say, how are you doing? How's school? Is there anything that I could do for you? And this is a conversation that I also had to have. I'm not trying to be your dad. You already have a father. I want to be a father figure. I want somebody that you can count on. But as we started to go, he started calling me David, right? That's my name. But David turned into dad when I became his father, when I married his mother. And now it's just dad, because he used to be it was hard for him to make that transition. When he seen his father, I would go back to David because he didn't know how to, make that change. But now being 14, 13, he called me dad, and I love it. And I love being a father. He might not be my biological son, but he is my son. So what am I saying to you all? I know this is going to be a little long, but hear what I'm saying. Blended families are wonderful, but you do have to put some work into it. There's some things that you just got to do, got to get out of your comfort zone. If you want your family dynamic to be strong, to build it up like it's supposed to be built up, for it to grow in blended families, you got to work on that communication with that child, that relationship. I'll talk about communication tomorrow, but you got to build that relationship, and it's a part of that communication. But you got to make the sacrifice to build up that relationship with that child, because the more you do it, the more consistent you are with building that relationship up with that child. It's only going to make things better as you go along. Because if I never built up my relationship in this blended family, I don't know where we would be. If I didn't make the sacrifice to go above and beyond, not for him to like me. Let me make this very clear. Not for him to like me, just to like me, to accept me. A lot of us, when we get in our family, I just want to like me. It's more than that. I'm a likable person, right? You're a likable person. You want that child to accept you into their space, into their private space, to be able to sit with them and hug them and mentor them and love on them. I don't know what I would be if I didn't have him in my life. I'm just being honest. I don't know what kind of person that I would, because it helped me grow as a man. It helped me to mature as a person. Blended families are wonderful. Never knew what a blended family really was until I became one of those blended families, and I wouldn't change it for nobody. Because the way that my blended family, my family, how it makes me feel. But I had to build up, not only build my relationship with my wife at the same time, I had to build that relationship up with my son. And I'm telling you, I'm saying this and I'm closing. You have, guys, if you have a woman that you care about and that you love, she has a child, or she has a child or children, but you love her and you know that you want to be with her, if she has children, I'm telling you, of course, pray all those wonderful things, but make sure this is something that you want to do. Make sure this is something that you want to do, because there's no game. It's no game. I'll get into some other pieces, but it's no game. But build that relationship with that child. I'm telling you, it's so beneficial to do that. So I'm going to end here. Tomorrow, we're going to talk a little bit more about blended families. Listen, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Please share this with someone. I appreciate your time. I will be back on tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. But I appreciate you guys' time today, and I want you to have a wonderful, and I mean wonderful, and blessed day.